Hey there, Scrapping Ames fans. How are we all? I'm back again with you today with a mixed media layout, documenting my son's costume for the book fair last year for his school. You saw some paint photo and some paint swatches there, because part of this layout was to use some paint swatches throughout your layout. So what I'm going to do is use this little mini designer bubble stencil, and I've mixed some texture paste with a red gelato. I just wanted to match that red in his shirt there. And I'm just pushing it through the stencil randomly over the page. I say with the whole watching me move it around heaps, just giving you the idea of how it works. I do, just as you can see there, just randomly place the stencil on the page. The stencil is from Kaiser Craft, by the way. Just because Willy Wonka, a bit crazy, you know, all that sort of thing. So I didn't want it to be sort of a clean lined, you know, all in order, symmetrical kind of page. I wanted it to be a bit different, I guess. So yeah, so here I am just playing around with the swatches and how I was going to put them in I wanted to use them as a backing in my photo, as well, like a kind of like a layer. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm also going to use them, as you can see, I'm using my little Fiskars circular punch just to punch out some circles to add to those circular patterns in the bubbles, and just add some random colour of them around the page, and yeah, add a bit of craziness. Just going through the little tray I have on my desk that holds all my embellishments and things that I get from my Kitaholic Kits, the main kit I get. So that ephemera pack that you see, actually you can see sitting there, it had the hello piece, was the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams pack. And then the other bits and pieces are just the wood veneer that comes in the pack, in the kit, sorry, and the exclusive printables that are designed by one of the design team members. This pattern paper is also the Chasing Dreams, one of them papers that came in the kit, and I'm just going to use it as a bit of a layering. I really liked this paper, like the watercolour kind of pattern to it, so I just wanted to add that to the back. Now I wanted to make sure that there was a bit of pink and some yellow and things, sorry, not pink, blues and things like that, which is what's in the photo with what he's wearing, but I also, the pink that was there, it didn't faze me too much because it was a sort of softer colour. So whilst I'm waiting for my background to dry, I am, as you can see, fiddling around with how I'm going to layer things and place, you know, these layers behind the photos. Alright, so again, this is just part of the pattern paper that came in the kit, so I'm just cutting out one of those little badge things. What do you call them? Little ribbons. I think it says like first on it or something like that. And then so because it was a, you know, book fair day, I don't know if anywhere else, but here in Australia sometimes we have book week, and each year, and usually schools sort of participate by doing a dress up day. And then for Hunter, my son, I think he won this year. He assures me he won this one for last year, but I'm not sure. I know he's done one year where we dressed him up as Harry Potter and he looked really good and he won there, and they just get a book as well as part of it. Anyway, so what you can see here is my little diamond press machine, die cut machine, and I'm making a banner out of it using the little banner pieces to cut it out. Now, I do have some trouble, and I left this in the video because I saw a conversation on Facebook around these lovely little machines. Whilst they're great and they're versatile, and you know, a fraction of the cost of what one of the big die cut machines are, I'm having trouble with it loading through properly. Like when you wind the little crank thing on the side and it pushes the embossing, what do you call it? The little folder through with the die cut in it. Anyway, it sometimes will get stuck, so I've got to fight with it. And I saw a conversation on Facebook the other day around this issue. Now, mine's a bit hit and miss. it did it then, like you saw me fighting with it. And then I go and cut some other pieces out later in the video, or am I already done it? The circular pieces. And I don't really have that issue. So it's a bit temperamental. So I'd love to know if anyone else has had this issue and if you've managed to be able to fix it, and if you could tell me what you did. Because it does drive me a little nuts, and sometimes because I've got to fuss around with it, I get a little bit impatient and I don't want to use it anymore. So although I love it, you know, I think it's great. For me, as I said, I think I said in one of my other videos a while back, I'm not great at cutting those little banners. So, you know, this is great. It, you know, does it really well, perfectly. And those funky little scallopy circles and things like that. So it has its place. So yeah, anyway, if you have one, let me know if you have trouble with it. If, you know, it could be frustrating for you as well. All right, so just having a fiddle around now with the circles I punched out of the paint swatches. Now, I didn't really have a plan with this one. I knew I was going to, obviously knew I was going to use the paint swatches, but I also used the circular patterns for another challenge I was doing for my design team, the blog that I'm part of, that Use Your Stuff. So go over and have a look. It gives you weekly challenges to basically use up your stuff. So it's a great little thing to do. Keeps your ideas happening and your mojo flowing, I think. So now I'm just layering up the photo on the back of that papers, the pattern papers. So I think I have two there, and both I think are Chasing Dreams. I think I have like the watery colour one, and then there's like a pinky line, faint pink lines kind of one. So yeah. So instead of fiddling around anymore, I'm just going to go, yep, cool, done, and let's go. Now this layout did take me a while to do, not including sort of, I guess, well, maybe the drying time, although I did use my heat gun for a bit, mainly because I didn't have a plan. So I just sort of had to go with the flow and see what happened. Hence why I've just gone, yep, I'm committing to this and starting to glue things through. So yep, as you can see, just sticking it down, sticking those layers down. So I know I did sort of say I was going to try and do 2 or more videos a week, and I do apologise. It's been absolutely crazy in April. I have birthdays, and then there's Easter, and I went away with the kids for a week, and oh my god. So yes. So yeah, and I'm finding at the moment not a lot of energy, so not a lot of mojo is happening to create some good stuff for you. So I have this video and about 2 others that I've just done. In saying that, I did actually sit down, I think it was Mother's Day, or maybe it was the day before, the Saturday, and I just went, no, I'm just scrapping, and I managed to sort of whip up 2 12x12 layouts, and I've got a Project Life one sitting on my desk that I did start this afternoon, but then, you know, you've got to be an adult and all those fun things and do dinner, and because everyone has to be fed. So yeah, I haven't gotten any further with it, but I will have a Project Life one, because I will film that one up on my page on here soon. But if you haven't already done so, go and check over on my blog as well, because I usually, if I don't have a process video, I have been taking some sort of still shots and giving a bit of a layout share over on my blog with a couple of photos, and then just sort of brief rundown of what I did, nothing too in detail. Because if anyone's anything like me, I'd much rather see it like this. You know, I'm a bit of a visual person, you know, how someone did something. So yeah, so pop on over to my blog. It is Scrap and Aim's. I'll put the link in the description box for you, and have a look. And I've got Instagram as well. So yeah, pop on over, have a look, and yeah, keep up to date with what's happening here. Alright, so I put my photo up on that foam you can see there, just to give it a bit of dimension and make it sort of pop out a little bit, even though the colours in his outfit and things are fairly bright and you know, don't sort of go too much into the background or the pattern papers. I just felt it needed to, yeah, pop up a little bit. I'm finding that actually with single photo layouts, I want the photo to stick out a bit more and make sure it is the focal point on my layout, so I am popping them up more and more on this foam, hence I had to go and raid my local cheap shop to get some more. Yeah, and even on my multi-photo layouts I've been doing, I did one just before, it might be one of the videos coming up, and I do pop one of the photos up because I want it to be the sort of focus for the layout, I guess. Now, because this isn't going onto the mixed media background, as you can see, I am using just the double-sided tape to stick everything there down. I did use the wet glue to stick down the swatches and the first layer of the paper, I think, paper layer, underneath the photo. Just so it sticks and stays stuck. Oh, these tapes. I went to a craft fair a week ago, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Anyway, and I ended up buying myself some really good versions, Alright, so I've just popped those pieces down that you can see there. And just playing around in the bottom of the screen. I do apologise you can't see what I'm doing there. I think I've just done that banner and journaled on it what the layout's about. Nothing too much because I didn't really have the date or too much detail because my son was with his dad when he did this. So you'll get to see in the close-ups what I've done. So I do apologise. I must make a conscious effort. I am trying to make a conscious effort when I do these to push my paper, my layout, my spreads into the top of the mat so I know that you're seeing it. Alrighty, so just fiddling around, I guess. Oh, there you go. I was looking into my little, see what other embellishments I might add to it. So I wasn't sure how much white space I wanted on the layout, you know, whether it needed more added to it or not. I actually leave it pretty much as it is and add just some little bits and pieces. So as you can see, I'm flicking through this little paper pad, which is the new Kaiser Craft Wildflower collection. I don't actually use anything from it, but I do really like it. So just have a look to see if there's anything I can use in that. Now here comes my title, which is simply Willy Wonka. But you will notice in a second, if you look closely, and I will share this with you, is I didn't have a second L to write Willy Wonka or Willy. So I actually cut a J, which you don't see me do, which is what I'm doing now, is sort of aligning it all, to make a wonky looking L. I figured, you know what, it's about Willy Wonka, who was a little bit askew, a little bit weird, so why not have at least one letter that was a bit strange? Why not? A bit different. And it works. You get the point. So, you know, at the end of the day, I do these for memory keeping for my kids to have when they get older and for us to look back on. So who cares if it's a bit, you know, it's a bit different. It's about the memory itself and that's what's being documented as opposed to if I cut a letter or not up to make it work. Alright, so just using my wet glue again just to stick all the things, everything down just because it's got that mixed media background and making sure then that way it all stays adhered without any big issues. So I cut, as you saw, I cut some of those circles out with the diamond press, and again it wasn't too much of a drama doing it. So I don't know why it plays up. As I said, if you've got a diamond press, let me know if you've had any troubles and if you've managed to fix it and what you did. Alright, so just adding a stamp of a camera. Now that came in one of the die cut things you get with that you can buy at Spotlight for the diamond press is a camera. And I really like it. It's quite a good little funky camera piece. So yeah, I'm just popping that onto that little tag label, whatever you want to call it. As I said, I needed something in that top corner. I just felt it didn't look balanced or it didn't look finished properly. you know, maybe to balance out to, or contrast against the, you know, the reddy pinky coloured bubbles that are in that bottom left corner. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. So just having a look to see what else I will add, if anything. I don't think I do. I think this is just about it, to be honest. But we'll have a look. Oh, no, tell a lie. I'm using one of the small scalloped circles to pop down. Just because, I actually remember why I did this. Because I had the bigger one that you can see in the green there, sort of in the middle of the page, is a scalloped edge, and it was the only one with the scalloped edge. So I wanted to add another one just to, you know, balance it out, make it even. And I add the black border, and again, just to finish the page off. There was lots of white space here, even though there was lots, you know, there was some good colours and things like that. There was still a lot of white space in between that, the mixed media, the stenciling. So I just added the black line just to finish it off and give the page an ending, I guess. So I hope you've enjoyed this process video. Again, I apologise, it's been a bit, you know, few and far between. I'll eventually get my mojo back and keep going for you. If you liked this, please give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. If you want to know where something's from, I can do my best to answer it. But otherwise, I will see you next time in my next scrapping video. See you later.